From pickaxes with zero delay to pickaxes that are completely silent, today, we'll find out why pros use these 25 pickaxes, starting with the driver. Pros love the driver for its minimalist design and because some players believe it reduces delay. The idea is pickaxes that use special effects or animations may actually slow the game down, leading to delay, so a minimalist pickaxe like the driver is perfect for pros. Who knows if this is actually true, but as you'll see throughout this video, clearly some pros believe it. There is an exception to this rule because even though the Leviathan axe has a freezing effect, the pros still love it. When the Leviathan axe released, it was one of the first one-handed pickaxes, and to this day, it still has some of the best animations out of any of the pickaxes in the game. It's one of the most desirable pickaxes in Fortnite. It's also become a flex for being one of the rarest. However, a pickaxe that was rare and recently returned is the Raider's Revenge, and I'm sure pros will be picking this one up soon. For years, this was the most sought-after pickaxe in the game, and it played a huge part in Fortnite's history, being the first ever purchasable pickaxe. Because it was gone for over 6 years, it could end up having a recon expert effect where pros start to use it. Another pickaxe from season 1 that's mained by a lot of pros is the Icebreaker. At 500 V-Bucks, this pickaxe is a steal, and like most of the other pickaxes on this list, it has no special effects. The clean design of the Icebreaker makes it a match with literally any skin in the game, and if you're using a darker outfit to stay hidden, the Icebreaker is the perfect match. Pros seem to like a lot of the more OG pickaxes, and none are more OG than the Throwback Axe. Back in chapter 1, players didn't like to use this pickaxe because it kind of made you look like a noob. However, once Fortnite brought back the OG cosmetics from chapter 1, the Throwback Axe quickly gained popularity with more of the hardcore players. I think pros like this one because it does have a more simple design compared to the pickaxes we see come to the shop today, and on top of that, it brings back memories from classic Fortnite. The same could be said for the Candy Axe. The Candy Axe was added to the game in season 2 to celebrate Christmas, and it instantly became one of the most popular pickaxes in the game. It's really never lost its popularity, always being a hit among pros and longtime players. It was so popular in fact that in chapter 2 season 1, Fortnite made a reskin of it called the Merry Mint. The Merry Mint was exclusive and has gotten pretty rare over the years because to unlock it, you had to get a code by purchasing Fortnite merchandise at GameStop. This is one of the few pickaxes with special effects that pros like. Be real, it's an exclusive version of one of the most popular pickaxes. Did you expect anything else? And you probably could have guessed that if Fortnite added a silent pickaxe, pros would immediately pick it up, and that's why next we have the Studded Axe. The Studded Axe is probably the closest thing to a silent pickaxe in Fortnite. And to get it, it would only cost you 800 V-Bucks. It's obvious why pros use this pickaxe because on top of being very quiet, it also has a really clean design. It's a similar situation with the Riot Control Baton. Okay, maybe not that similar because this pickaxe was completely game breaking. The Riot Control Baton had a bug that would make your footsteps completely silent, and pros quickly picked this up, with some pros even using it in a tournament, leading to this pickaxe being disabled. It has been fixed since then, but a lot of Fortnite's best players still use this for being a really cool one-handed pickaxe, and it will be remembered for being pay to win. On the other hand, there is a somewhat pay to lose pickaxe that pros still use anyways, the Reaper. The Reaper may be loud, but it's one of the most satisfying pickaxes in the game, and it has by far one of the cleanest designs. It's a classic pickaxe released back in season 1, and this one will probably always be a fan favorite. Another favorite amongst the pros is the Harley Hitter. This is one of the most popular and tryhard pickaxes of all time, and it's a part of the DC series, only costing 800 V-Bucks. It was starting to get pretty rare, but thankfully Fortnite started working with DC again and recently brought this pickaxe back. But they still haven't brought back Catwoman's grappling claw. This item could either be obtained in the item shop for 800 V-Bucks or by redeeming a code from the Batman Fortnite 0 Point comics. This one instantly became tryhard with pros because it was rumored that this pickaxe had zero delay. It's debatable whether or not this is true, but it does have a simplistic design and doesn't have any effects that would slow your game, and years after its release, it's still one of the most tryhard pickaxes in the game. We also have pickaxes from Marvel, like the Widow's Bite. This was the pickaxe for Black Widow, and although it was gone for years, when it finally did return in the original Fortnite OG, pros were quick to pick this one up because it's one of the cleanest pickaxes in the game. The Widow's Bite costs 800 V-Bucks and is by far the most popular in the Marvel series, and you'll see this pickaxe a lot in ranked mode and tournaments. Another collab that was gone for a while but eventually came back was John John Wick, and he brought with him the simple sledge. This pickaxe is an Easter egg to the John Wick movie where he uses a sledgehammer to break through the floor. Coming in at only 500 V-Bucks in the item shop, the simple sledge is a really clean, minimalist pickaxe. On top of that, it came in the bundle for one of Fortnite's most iconic crossovers, and for those reasons, pros have been using it for years. When Fortnite brought back John Wick and the simple sledge, they also introduced a new pickaxe, Wick's Katana. Katanas tend to be considered some of the sweatiest pickaxes, and if you wanted to grab Wick's Katana, you could get it in the shop for 500 V-Bucks. Alternatively, you could get both Wick's Katana and simple sledge in the John Wick bundle for 2,400 V-Bucks if it makes a return to the shop. Speaking of katanas pros use, next we have Michonne's Katana. This pickaxe has a really cool design, but it was kind of pricey because you had to buy it either with the skin for 1,800 V-Bucks or in the Survivors and Arms bundle for 2,500 V-Bucks. Sadly, this pickaxe hasn't returned in a while as it's been gone for over 395 days. Michonne's Katana has a really clean and simple design, and it's probably the most popular katana with pros ever. A more recent crossover item that has gotten popular with pros is the Scratcher. This item is an Easter egg from Family Guy. However, pros really like this pickaxe for being one of the most simplistic in the game, being one color, and having really no effects other than being animated. Family Guy was a crossover players waited years for, so it's no shock that when this crossover was added in Chapter 5, the items from this collab quickly became really popular. Another pickaxe added in Chapter 5 is the Axe O. This is the pickaxe for a first ever Fortnite festival icon, The Weeknd. The Axe O became popular with tryhard players because its design is super simple and it matches with pretty much any skin in the game because it's all black. All of this can also be said for the Platinum Axe O, which is basically the same thing in a different color. Moving on to an older pickaxe pros use, next we have the Spectral Axe. The Spectral Axe released as a rare pickaxe, meaning it cost 800 V-Bucks, and it was really just a simple pickaxe with a dynamic color shifting design. The Spectral Axe has come back a lot throughout the years, and I see this pickaxe in ranked mode all the time. Not as often as the Crowbar though, because this is one of the most tryhard items ever. Whether it's the Crowbar or one of its reskins like the Vault Guardian or the Gold Crow, these items are all loved by pros. Unfortunately, if you missed out on it, it hasn't been available since Chapter 1 Season 5, but Fortnite has been bringing back a ton of rare items we thought would never return, so maybe it could come back someday. Thankfully, if you missed out, as mentioned earlier, this pickaxe has a ton of awesome reskins you can pick up in the shop, like the Gold Crow, Vault Guardian, and the Bold Bar. But a pickaxe that returns all the time is Noggin. This was a pickaxe for dummy, which is already an outfit pros love to use, so it's really no shock pros will often be seen using this pickaxe. Pros like it for being really simplistic and having a very smooth and satisfying swinging animation. Most importantly, at only 500 V-Bucks, it has two edit styles, with the second being a stealthy carbon fiber look. If you don't like the camouflage look of Noggin, you could always rock something more flashy like the Star Wand. This pickaxe initially gained popularity for being the most pay-to-win cosmetic ever because it was once glitched to do 56 damage each hit, but thankfully Fortnite was quick to patch this. Even though it was patched, it really never lost its popularity with pros, even making it into Benji Fishy's locker bundle, and it's probably the most popular pickaxe ever. With the Star Wand being such a favorite among players, we can't be shocked that Fortnite made reskins, with the most popular being the Scully Scepter. This is a cheaper alternative to the Star Wand, coming in at only 500 V-Bucks, and because it's mostly white, it matches with any skin in the game. Even though this pickaxe released to celebrate Fortnitemares, it doesn't seem to be locked to that event. In fact, it's made returns at all times of the year, so hopefully it makes another comeback soon. Now, we can't forget about Cold Snap, because this is definitely a favorite among pros. It sports a clean, frosty design, and like most pickaxes on this list, it doesn't have any crazy effects that would draw attention or slow down your game. Cold Snap is the perfect combo for any winter skin, but it can match with just about anything because of its simple design. My personal favorite combo would be to match it with Aura. Although it's popular with pros, it's not something you're going to see every game like the Star Wand or the Driver, but it's certainly a pickaxe that'll make you stand out. Speaking of pickaxes that make you stand out, next we have the Axe of Champions 2.0. Now, if you haven't played Fortnite in a while, you're probably thinking only a few players can have this at once, right? Well, that's no longer the case because Fortnite brought this pickaxe back in September for 1,200 V-Bucks and it returns often. The Axe of Champions 2.0 is popular with pros for its significance in Fortnite competitive history. It used to be a huge flex because you could only get it by winning FNCS FNCS, but some pros have actually earned this pickaxe in the past, so it makes sense they'd still rock it in game. It also has a fairly clean and simple design and is the perfect match for any of the other FNCS cosmetics. But that was the 25 pickaxes pros use in Fortnite, and if you enjoyed this video, you'll probably